Hello everyone, welcome back to Well Fit by a Brother Abroad, where we share ideas for fitness and exercises to help you stay fit wherever you are and with minimal equipment. Today I'm going to go over a handful of calisthenics shoulder exercises that are perfect for staying fit anywhere, building strength, building muscle, because they only involve body weight. First on the list, plank rotations. So what you're going to do is get in a low plank on your elbows and simply rotate outwards, one shoulder up, reach that hand up towards the sky, and doing that, you're going to have to contract the opposite shoulder that you're anchored on. This is going to hit the back side of the shoulder, the rear delts in a good way. Next up for the beginners, we have the plank to pike, or the plank to downward dog. In this, you're going to start in the plank position and then push back, contracting your shoulders into the pike position or the downward dog position. Next up, we have wall presses. Wall presses are a scaled down progression of handstand push-ups. Handstand push-ups are beyond most beginners. Wall push-ups, wall presses, allow you to get that top of the shoulder, the outside and the top of the shoulder, mimicking that overhead press, that military press, or that handstand push-up position. Next, we have an exercise that can be beginner or intermediate, depending, you can adjust the intensity, is the reverse plank. So what you're gonna do is sit down, grab a set of dumbbells, or you can just anchor your hands on the ground and create that tabletop position, just like you see in the video. This is gonna work the rear part of the delts very well and is also gonna push your range of motion. Most people don't have that range of motion to put the arm that far back. This is gonna give you an opportunity to gradually ease into that, and know that as you work this with any exercise, if you're doing it safely, that range of motion will increase. But this is a great one for building those good healthy shoulders balanced on all sides. Next for the beginners, we have the piked push-up. The pike push-up is another scaled down version of our handstand push-up. You're simply going to get into the piked position, bent at the waist, trying to keep your legs as straight as possible and keeping your torso as straight as possible as well. Lowering down until your face gets close to the floor and then pressing up, just as you would with the handstand push-up. This is going to be more difficult than the wall press, but a lot easier than the handstand push-up. Doing these will get you to that handstand and handstand push-up phase. Next, we have a movement that is a body weight movement, but we're going to use a bit of a tool. You can grab a piece of rope or a strap. I use suspension trainers sometimes, but we're going to do lateral raises. With lateral raises, you're going to anchor your feet to one or the other side of your body, and you're going to use the weight of your body at a slant to create resistance against your hands that you're going to raise up, as you can see in the video. This is going to hit the sides of your shoulders, which is very difficult to isolate. You're not really isolating, you're just kind of emphasizing which muscle's working more. But this exercise is going to hit the outside of your shoulder and you're going to feel it very much. Next, we have another exercise that we use a piece of equipment for, our rope again. These are going to be squat resisted front raises. And you can actually do this to the back as well as to the side. Squat resisted front raises, in this, you're going to raise your hands while grabbing the straps against the resistance of your feet. Not gonna go anywhere. The thing is, as you raise your arms and lower your body at the same time, you're going to apply that resistance, that tension throughout the range of motion of your arm moving when your arm is normally moving upward. Now we're going to get into our intermediate exercises. So just jump up to these when you're feeling comfortable. If the previous exercises you can do around 12 to 15, one good set, then you're comfortably at a point where you can jump up to the intermediate exercises. So our first intermediate calisthenics shoulder exercise is the pike up. The pike up is a great exercise in that it is not only an excellent shoulder exercise, it is also a core exercise and it trains mobility too. Next up for the intermediate calisthenics shoulder exercises, we have the planche, the pseudo planche push-up or the planche lean. The planche is an excellent shoulder exercise that not many people can do. For the intermediates, the planche lean is a great replacement. Next on our list of intermediate calisthenics exercises for shoulders is the wall-assisted handstand push-up. A wall-assisted handstand push-up is a great shoulder exercise. It doesn't really isolate one particular area, front, back, top, very well. Traps, it gets everything. Next up for intermediate exercises, we have front lever raises. Now, front lever raises are a tough one, but they're a great one because they not only work out your shoulders, they also hit the core insanely well. For front levers, you can either do the front lever where you're holding, which is actually much more difficult, then doing the raises in which you're going through the entire range of motion, holding at the top for a second and then dropping back down. And the sister exercise to our front levers are our rear lever raises. So rear lever raises are tough and interesting. A way to scale into them is learning how to do the skin the cat, which we'll go over, but getting into that hanging position to start the rear lever raise, if you're going to do reps, is a great way to train mobility in your shoulders. Next up, we have our 90-degree pike push-ups. Now, the 90-degree push-up, which is a little bit more difficult, is an excellent exercise for simultaneously training chest at a very high level, as well as shoulders and arms. It's an unbeatable exercise. However, most people can't do the 90-degree push-up. The progression, the variation for intermediates, is the 90-degree pike push-up, which most people can do in a range of 8 to 12, which makes it a very, very, very good exercise to hit all around shoulders in a different plane of motion. So you got your push-ups, you have your handstand push-ups, and this one hits at an angle that hits both your chest and all of your shoulder at once. Next up for our intermediate exercises is the planche lean to pike. Now, this is another great exercise because it puts a lot of tension on those shoulders and through a very long range of motion. So the planche lean to pike, you're going to start out in the planche lean, which means getting in that push-up position, then sliding your feet forward while keeping your body straight until you get into that planche lean position with your shoulders as far as possible past your hands. And from there, you're going to push back into a pike, and it's simple as that. So last up for the exercise that we're demonstrating for shoulders, those good body weight shoulder exercises, is the skin the cat and circular articulated rotations, CARs. So the skin the cat is pretty simple. It's exactly what you see kids doing at the playground, messing around. But you know what's funny about kids? Their shoulder range of motion is a lot better than yours. So go ahead and do this one. All you're doing is putting a little bit of resistance on your shoulder through the entire range of motion, which is essentially all that good mobility training is. Move slow and be careful with that, but it's a good thing to add. And next up are CARs, circular articulated rotations. And this, all you're doing, once again, is taking your arm through its entire, or your shoulder through its entire range of motion. Now, I actually like to do this with a very light amount of weight, say a water bottle or a dumbbell. It's not calisthenics, but hey, sometimes you got some weight around. But this is a very good exercise to just run through that range of motion. You'll feel the creaks and things if you're on the salty side, if you're on the gray side, but it's okay. The more you move through it in a very healthy manner, very low resistance, the better it'll get. Also, you will become aware of healthy range of motion, healthy movement, as in where's your shoulder position in the socket as you're moving. You're gonna become a lot more familiar with your bad habits and improve how you're moving through that range of motion and improving your mobility through that. So you might be thinking, well, what about the advanced exercises? So the handstand push-up, the free handstand push-up, is one of the best exercises for shoulders. You hit everything. It hits it in a level, at a level of intensity that rivals most weightlifting. But at the same time, you're working coordination, those fast twitch muscles and everything. So the handstand push-up is the creme de la creme of calisthenics shoulder exercises. Now, along with that, the 90-degree push-up. Now, the 90-degree push-up tends to hit a lot more of the front portion of the shoulder and the chest as well, but it is an advanced shoulder calisthenics exercise, a shoulder body weight exercise. That's a great point to work up to. And last on the list is the planche, full planche push-up. Planche is just like we're talking about with the pseudo planche lean, except your feet are off the ground, which is pretty impressive. So that's it, a handful of body weight shoulder exercises that'll help you maintain strength and muscle or build strength and muscle that you can do anywhere. Give me some feedback on that. Let me know what you think. And if you've got any exercises that I missed, drop them in the comments. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you in the next video.